Hello there. We have finished another week on our chronological Bible reading. Today we're going to discuss any insights that we have from day 90 to 96. For those who would like to be up to date on a daily basis, you may visit my other social media accounts. My Facebook at Truth Insight 2020. My Instagram, truth.insight, and my Twitter at truthinsight_. On these social media accounts, you will see what books, what chapters, and what verses to read for the day. Now let's get to the discussion. So beginning on day 90, on this day we read Judges chapters 1 to 2 and chapter 3 verses 1 to 30. One item we have here, Judges chapter 2 verse 7 and verses 10 to 11. It says, "And the Israelites served the Lord throughout the lifetime of Joshua, and the leaders who outlived him, those who had seen all the great things the Lord had done for Israel. After that generation died, another generation grew up who did not acknowledge the Lord or remember the mighty things he had done for Israel. The Israelites did evil in the Lord's sight and served the images of Baal." As you can see here, what happened here, so this is why we are supposed to teach the younger generation on how to please God with the way we live, right? So just to make it clear, first there was this generation, those who had seen all the great things the Lord had done, right? After that generation died, right? So this generation who had seen the great things done by the Lord, the younger generation, they grew up and did not acknowledge the Lord, or they don't remember anything about what the Lord had done, right? So what happened? They did evil in the Lord's sight. So for us today, we have to teach the younger generation on how to please God with the way they live. And for those who have children, for the parents, so actually their responsibility to teach their children, right? Teach them to read the Bible. Okay. Next day, day 91. On this day, we read the book of Judges, chapter 3, verse 31, and chapters 4 to 6. So for this, we have one item, the book of Judges, chapter 6, verse 17, and verses 36 to 37, and verse 39. It says, "Gideon replied, 'If you are truly going to help me, show me a sign to prove that it is really the Lord speaking to me.' Then Gideon said to God, 'If you are truly going to use me to rescue Israel as you promised, prove it to me in this way. I will put a wool fleece on the threshing floor tonight. If the fleece is wet with dew in the morning, but the ground is dry, then I will know that you are going to help me rescue Israel as you promised.' Then Gideon said to God, 'Please don't be angry with me, but let me make one more request. Let me use the fleece for one more test. This time, let the fleece remain dry while the ground around it is wet with dew.'" So as you notice here, so these are separate set of verses, right? separate verses. Gideon asked for proof that God was with him 3 times, right? 3 times. So 3 times Gideon asked for proof. For us today, we live by faith, not by sight. In prayer, we can also ask God to help us feel His presence. Right? So it's normal. We're only humans. So what we can do is we pray to God and ask to help us feel His presence. Okay. Moving on to the next day. So this is done. Day 92. On this day, oops, wait a minute. What happened there? Huh? Anyway. On this day, we read the book of Judges, chapters 7 to 8, and chapter 9, verses 1 to 21. So we have one item, Judges chapter 8, verse 33. It says, as soon as Gideon died, the Israelites prostituted themselves by worshipping the images of Baal, making Baal beareth their God. So sadly, some people need someone to lead them into God's righteousness, right? So notice what happened here. As soon as their leader Gideon died, right? As soon as their leader died, it was Gideon, the Israelites prostituted themselves by worshipping the images of Baal, right? So without a leader, they went astray. They don't have today, right? People don't have self-discipline to pray and read the Bible every day. Okay, moving on to the next day, day 94. On this day, we read the book of Judges, chapter 11, verse 29 to 40, and chapters 12 to 15. So, for the first item, Judges chapter 11, verses 35 to 36, it says, when he saw her, he tore his clothes in anguish. "Oh, my daughter," he cried out, "you have completely destroyed me. You've brought disaster on me, for I have made a vow to the Lord, and I cannot take it back." And she said, "Father, if you have made a vow to the Lord, you must do to me what you have vowed, for the Lord has given you a great victory over your enemies, the Ammonites." So this is Jephthah, right? The father is Jephthah, and he's talking to his daughter. So he just came from the battle, but he made a vow, right? That whatever comes out from his house, he will offer it to the Lord. But his daughter came out, so that's why. So here we can see that both Jephthah and his daughter obeyed God's command on vows, even if it meant taking his daughter's life. For some of us today, even the easiest thing to do, like reading the Bible, is not being obeyed, sadly. So the next item, Judges chapter 13, verses 8 to 9. It says, then Manoah prayed to the Lord, saying, "Lord, please let the man of God come back to us again and give us more instructions about this son who is to be born. God answered Manoah's prayer, and the angel of God appeared once again to his wife as she was sitting in the field. But her husband Manoah was not with her. So whenever we need guidance, what we can do is pray to God and ask for guidance, right? So as you can see here, just to be clear, see? So Manoah prayed to the Lord, right? So he prayed to the Lord, and then he's asking, please let the man of God come back to us again and give us more instruction, right? God answered Manoah's prayer. Okay. Next item. Judges chapter 14 verses 3 to 4. It says, his father and mother objected, isn't there even one woman in our tribe or among all the Israelites you could marry? They asked. Why must you go to the pagan Philistines to find a wife? But Samson told his father, get her for me. She looks good to me. His father and mother didn't realize the Lord was at work in this, creating an opportunity to work against the Philistines who ruled over Israel at that time. So sometimes there are things happening that we don't understand. We need to pray, ask for guidance, and surrender everything to God. Right? So you can see here what happened here. So the parents, right, of Samson. So Samson's father and mother objected, right? But still, Samson insisted on it, right? Get her for me. So, but actually, without the knowledge of the father and the mother, so this entire thing is God's plan. Was God's plan, right? Okay. So, done for this day. This is day 94. That's it. No more. That's all for today. See you again next time. May God bless us all.